Welcome to the 2017 School of Kinesiology Commencement Ceremony. My name is Tom Templin. I'm Associate Dean for Faculty and Undergraduate Affairs, and I will serve as your host today. Like in the movies, before we begin the program, as a courtesy to others, please take a moment to put your cell phone on silent so we can enjoy the celebration uninterrupted. I would also like to remind guests to please remain seated during the awarding of the degrees. Thank you. Well, what an incredible day this is, right, students? We are in this magnificent auditorium full of happy, energetic, and proud graduates and their families and friends. We are so excited to have a very special commencement speaker, Chancellor Tim White from the California State University, who has a rich history right here in Ann Arbor at the University of Michigan. And we are directly across from the Krause Building, the site of our school's new home in 2020. That'll be exciting. This will be a ceremony filled with hugs, smiles, laughter, and tears, and reminders of how far you have come since your first days on campus. You've experienced rigorous coursework from world-class faculty, research opportunities, internships, clinical rotations, group assignments, and other intellectually challenging projects that you have added to your academic portfolio. You have enjoyed great social, cultural, and athletic events, including the rebirth of Michigan football under that now famous Italian coach, Jim Harbaugh. And importantly, you have made friendships that you will cherish forever. This afternoon is about bittersweet endings and exciting new beginnings. You have distinguished yourselves in a population of high-achieving students who have worked hard and accomplished a great deal. Today's events will leave you with wonderful memories of a celebration shared with family, friends, and faculty and staff of the School of Kinesiology. Our celebration will move along quickly, and at the conclusion of the ceremony, the platform party and graduates will depart immediately to the second floor of the Michigan League, just across the plaza, where there'll be plenty of photo opportunities and refreshments. More on this later. And now, please rise as we welcome Camille Primo, a junior in the School of Music, Theater, and Dance, who will sing our national anthem. Gentlemen, please remove your caps and mortarboards.
Strive
Thank you, Camille. Now that is a mezzo-soprano. Thank you, Camille. That was lovely. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Lori Plott-Snyder, the Dean of the School of Kinesiology. Dr. Plott-Snyder became the leader of our school in July of 2016 after her successful tenure as a professor and chair at Syracuse University, followed by a distinguished career as a lead scientist in exercise physiology at NASA, Johnson Space Center in Houston. Dean Plott-Snyder, on behalf of our faculty, staff, and students, thank you for your leadership over the year. Please welcome Dr. Lori Plott-Snyder.
Thank you, Dr. Templin. As the Dean of the School of Kinesiology, it is really exciting and a great pleasure for me to welcome you to this wonderful celebration of our 2017 graduates. I'd like to extend a special welcome to James Holloway, the University of Michigan Vice Provost for Global Engagement and Interdisciplinary Academic Affairs. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. I'd also like to take a moment to acknowledge our wonderful faculty. Faculty and Vice Provost Holloway, please stand and let's give them all a round of applause. On a personal note, I really want to express what a transformative and exciting year it has been for me as your new dean. I'm very impressed with the poise and the maturity of our students, the energy, the scholarship, and the diverse interests of our faculty, and I'm really looking forward to our next chapter in the history of the School of Kinesiology as we continue to grow and excel. It is a really exciting time to be in kinesiology. According to the publication Inside Higher Education, over the past decade, the number of undergraduates in kinesiology programs across the United States has increased by 50%. We see this here in Michigan reflected in our increased application rate for all of our programs. This year we received the largest number of freshman applications in the history of the school, and it's getting more competitive. Fewer than 20% of our applicants are admitted into the School of Kinesiology for this coming fall semester. And one of the reasons for this big demand to enter our schools is increasing because of the opportunities for careers and meaningful experiences in athletic training, health and fitness, movement science, and sport management. Michigan kinesiology graduates in all of our majors and degrees are valued, sought after, and respected. All of us here this afternoon know that Michigan kinesiology students are energetic and effective leaders, but I'll give you a few highlights. They participate in a lot of organizations, such as Michigan Health Aid, the Sports Business Association, the Organization for Athletic Training Students, the Michigan Sport Business Conference, Phi Epsilon Kappa, Student Government, Exercises Medicine, and many others. They have won a host of awards from our school, from the university, and even from national organizations. Two of our graduates this afternoon, Sean Pradin and Matthew Nagy, are recent recipients of the American Kinesiology Association Scholar Awards, which is a national honor. Many of our students are international travelers, gaining significant global experience to enrich their education. They volunteer as teaching assistants in a wide range of our kinesiology classes. They conduct research in labs all over campus, publish in scholarly professional journals, and have written for the Michigan Daily or the mgoblue.com. Our students have worked on and off campus, competed on athletic and academic teams, excelled in independent study opportunities, interned with sports organizations, companies, hospitals, clinics, and schools. They are active, motivated, and really busy. The students of the class of 2017 leave kinesiology with strong optimism as they begin the next phases of their lives and their professional careers. Many of tonight's movement science graduates are going on to medical, nursing, physical therapy, and dental school. Others will begin careers as researchers, scientists, or healthcare workers. 12 of our movement science graduates will enter the exciting new world of intraoperative neuromonitoring. Our athletic trainers will take their conditioning and healing skills to the sidelines of high schools, college, or professional sports teams. Many of those will also begin graduate studies in areas like physical therapy, orthopedics, and medicine. Graduate school is also the next step for many of our health and fitness majors. Others will work as health educators, community organizers, and corporate wellness specialists, using their knowledge to build a healthier community, workplace, and world. A large percentage of our sport management graduates will begin climbing the ladder at sports franchises, media companies, and other corporate and nonprofit organizations. Others will continue with postgraduate studies in business and law. I know that each of you, graduates and families, are as proud of your accomplishments at Michigan as we, your faculty, mentors, and advisors, are of you. As you take the next steps in your life, carry our sincere congratulations and best wishes with you. And it is especially fitting that such a great graduating class benefits from a great speaker, and this is our exceptionally accomplished commencement speaker, Dr. Timothy P. White. Dr. White began his academic career as an assistant professor right here at the University of Michigan in 1978. In 1985, he was selected to chair the Department of Kinesiology, which was then housed in the Division of Physical Education. White held this role until 1991, when he accepted a professorship and department chair position at the University of California, Berkeley. From 1996 to 2004, Dr. White served as Dean, Provost, Executive Vice President, and Interim President at Oregon State University, followed by a 4-year term as President of the University of Idaho. If that weren't enough, in 2008, Dr. White moved to the University of California, Riverside, where he functioned as Chancellor and Professor. And most recently, since 2013, Dr. White has served as Chancellor of the California State University System, one of the most influential, inclusive, and populous networks of higher education in the United States. He is a lifelong champion of student success, a tireless advocate for comprehensive learning environments that link classroom work to research, creative activity, and community engagement. And I am very honored for you to help me welcome Dr. Timothy White.
Well, thank you, Dean Plautz Snyder and Associate Dean Templin. It's a very kind introduction. It sounds like I can't hold a job after listening to all of that. Wow. To the parents and grandparents, the siblings and spouses, to the loved ones, the family, the friends, and the colleagues gathered, the faculty, the staff, the alumni, fellow Wolverines, and most importantly, the University of Michigan School of Kinesiology class of 2017. Woohoo! Let me be among the first to congratulate you for this well-earned achievement. You know, coming back to Ann Arbor after 26 years at this special, excellent, and globally consequential school has certainly brought back memories for me of my 15 years here in Ann Arbor. Indeed, as for you, today is very personal. This is where my eldest son earned his chemical engineer baccalaureate degree. This is where 2 other of my sons were born in the University of Michigan Women's Hospital. And this is where my wife earned 4 degrees, a Bachelor of Science, 2 Masters of Science, and a PhD. And this is where my academic career began. We were good, and we were highly regarded nationally, but we were small. Today, I observe with both pride and awe that kinesiology is good and highly regarded nationally, but academically more diversified and established, larger, and stunning opportunities for growth and consequence, both for the school and faculty and for the alumni. And I also remember the wickedly cold mornings coming into work, looking up at the smokestacks at the central power plant as I drove along Maple Avenue to see how hard they were working to heat the campus. If I saw steam coming from one stack, I knew it was cold, but bearable. If both stacks were chugging along, I knew I was in for a really frigid day. Of course, I also remember my job interview with D. Eddington in 1977. I met D in his lab where he was trying to show me his new electron microscope. He pulled out a razor blade to pull a tissue sample and ended up slicing his finger wide open. Now that's an interesting interview tactic, to say the least, testing my composure and first aid skills, but I guess he got his tissue sample after all. Now, as I was reminded this morning as I drove through Ann Arbor and walked through this absolutely stunning and inspirational campus, of my Michigan lesson in humility. You see, when I started here back in the 70s, all Michigan faculty had football tickets on the 50-yard line of the big house. Primo seats to watch us beat up on Ann, Ohio State University. Come on. The University of Michigan beating up on Ann, Ohio State University. Well, all the faculty, except for me, or at least that's what I thought, sat on the 50. So here I was, a big shot in my own mind, with only corner end zone seats. Unacceptable for a hotshot PhD from the University of California, Berkeley, right? Followed by a hotshot physiology postdoc from Michigan's medical school with John Faulkner. So I go marching down, actually I swaggered down, to the athletics department to complain. The ticket manager, the late Michigan hockey great Al Renfrew, stood behind the counter with that Ann Arbor Canadian accent, eh? I still remember to this day the palpable smugness as he sized me up. Just imagine, an unruly, long-haired guy with a big mustache from California confronting a no-nonsense Michigan hockey legend separated by a flimsy counter and a piece of plastic glass. It was the 70s, after all. So I complained to Al, tell him I'm a big shot faculty member, recently imported from Berkeley. I'm sure he rolled his eyes as he went back to the offices, and he said, tongue-in-cheek, to ask the coach if I could get my seat moved. Well, the coach at that time, of course, was the great Bo Schembechler. And just as an aside, had some tall, skinny kid named Jim Harbaugh, who was the quarterback. I'll never forget what Bo yelled from his back office. It's a lesson that has stuck with me through my time at Michigan, to my tenures at Oregon State and Berkeley and Idaho and the University of California in Riverside, and certainly today as Chancellor of the California State University, which serves 475,000 students on 23 campuses in California. Bo yelled out from his office, "Tell them that touchdowns are only scored in the end zone." Right there. Touchdowns are only scored in the end zone. Stuck with me not only because it was a clever one-liner administering a dose of humility, but it also informed me that my seats were not going to be moved. And because it so truly equates in a sports metaphor term the trajectory of life. So today, this ceremony, your graduation, is indeed special. A culmination of both your life's work up to this point and the collective effort, support, and love of your family and friends and the University of Michigan faculty and staff. But today is not your touchdown. The diploma you will receive today as an undergraduate or a graduate or even a newly minted PhD is not the end zone. And here's the real kicker, no pun intended. Geez, oh, it's tough. So here's the kicker, pun intended. You likely won't reach the end zone for another 30, 40, heck, even 50 years if you're as slow as I am. I know that even today, I'm still a few yards shy. So you could say that my time at Michigan taught me humility, yet because of its rigorous and unrelenting ability to hammer out of me any preconceived delusions of grandeur, Michigan also has this great way of creating ability and instilling confidence, enabling me to take my passion and skills to a fulfilling and interesting life marked by contributing beyond self. And really, that's going to be your touchdown. When you've reached a fulfilling and interesting life, when you've committed yourself, your reputation, and your life's work for the betterment of others, particularly those in our communities, country and world who are marginalized, unfortunate, discriminated against, destitute, and disenfranchised. That's your touchdown. And we all know that your experience here at Michigan will help you along your path from whichever yard line you start from, all the way to the end zone. The Michigan experience, of course, starts with the outstanding world-class education that you have received, and I hope you'll join me again in thanking the incredible faculty and staff of this outstanding and consequential school. And to the faculty and staff, it is through your students that you touch the future. Indeed, you touch eternity. What a privilege you have. Now, I'm sure that every member of the class of 2017 can reminisce about the many uniquely Michigan experiences you've had over the years beyond the great education that you received. And as I look out at you this evening, I can see in your faces expressions of joy, exhilaration, curiosity, a little bit of embarrassment, dread. So it's clear to me that some of you are still reminiscing as we speak. But Michigan has this ability to combine so many different and unique experiences, skills, knowledge, relationships, and values gained in the classroom, the lab, the clinic, and the residences, in academics, in athletics, in sports, in research, the clinical efforts, music, internships, and so on and so forth. They create the playbook for a truly interesting and meaningful and consequential life. Yet it is your decisions going forward, decisions that acknowledge both your passion and ability, that will drive your success. Frankly, one without the other, passion or ability, is a non-starter in my view. If you are passionate about becoming a neonatal surgeon, a neonatal neurosurgeon, but you don't have good fine motor skills, it's likely not going to work out. Likewise, if you have a great ability with your hands and an immense knowledge of the brain and neuroscience, but you don't wake up every morning with bold intent and relentless passion to help someone else, that's not good for your patients nor for you. It's when you combine these two things, passion and ability, that you can begin to move inch by inch, yard by yard, toward your life's greatest goals. But if, and let's be honest, when you do lose your footing from time to time, as I have along the way, I know you will look back on your experiences here at Michigan, at the university, this incredible global community of thinkers, of doers and dreamers, instilled with unmatched resilience and toughness, and you'll get up and try again and again. And when you stay at it, even when you are wholly uncertain as to what comes next, you will succeed. The impossible will melt into the improbable, and the improbable will become inevitable. So in closing, let me quote Robert Kennedy, who, when he came to a California university on a beautiful spring day in 1968, told the thousands of students gathered in the quad that, quote, "Youthfulness is not a time of life, but a state of mind, a temper of the will, a quality of imagination, a predominance of courage over timidity, of the appetite for adventure over a life of ease. It is the spirit which knows the difference between force and reason. It does not accept the failures of today as a reason for the failures of tomorrow. It knows that we can clasp the future and we can hold it to our will. So let me assure everyone here that you, the youthful class of 2017, are ready for all that is next. Many have observed that thoughts lead to words and words lead to actions. So too will your actions define your character, they will cast your destiny, and they will create your legacy. Be courageous, be consequential, have an appetite for imagination and adventure, give beyond self, inspire and help those who will follow you to an increasingly uncertain world, and as Michigan women and men, as kinesiology alumni, I am confident that your legacy will be profound. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tim, for your thoughtful, inspiring, and reflective remarks. I would equate that to a 100-yard kickoff return for a touchdown, right? Thank you. It's certainly great to have you back in Ann Arbor along with Karen, and as you pointed out, Karen's a kinesiology graduate, and Karen, wherever you are, welcome back. Thank you. Our program continues with our student speaker, Kamaria Washington, who is receiving her degree in movement science. Congratulations, Kamaria.
Thank you so much, Dr. Timberland. Good evening, everyone. Thank you. In emergency response, we learned that you do not proceed unless your patients are responsive, right? So good evening, everyone. Thank you. Thank you so much for celebrating this momentous occasion with us. It's wonderful to see our kinesiology family gathered here this evening, as well as all of our families and friends who have traveled to celebrate with us. My fellow graduates, it is a privilege to stand before you as a student speaker for the School of Kinesiology's class of 2017. Today marks the end of an arduous yet deeply rewarding journey. Our journeys to this moment have not all been the same. Some in our class have switched majors, perhaps once, twice, or 3 or more times. Some in our class of 2017 have transferred into the School of Kinesiology from elsewhere on campus and even different institutions. Some have spent countless hours competing on behalf of Michigan athletics, while others of us worked internships or jobs year-round to build those resumes and afford tuition, Ann Arbor rents, and some well-deserved nights at Pizza House. And some of us have spent more time at the amazing university than originally planned. Despite the uniqueness of our journey, we have all made it to this moment. And if we have learned nothing else from our time at the best Big Ten school, we know that a met goal is one worth celebrating. I would like to take this time to reflect on what I have learned from my academic experience at the university, and I hope that you all, classmates, family, friends, and staff included, will find something that I share to be of value. Lisa Drayton, Jeremy Washington, members of the class of '96 at the University of Michigan, also known as my parents. Both of my parents were first-generation college students. They were not expected to attend, let alone graduate from college, but they did. And since they did, it was undoubtedly expected of me to attend college as well. And I assure you that they did not force me to come here so that I would follow in their footsteps. My decision to be here was fueled by various different reasons, but there was one that profoundly stood out as a game changer for me. That was the plethora of opportunities that Michigan had to offer across so many different arenas. I saw opportunities in the world-renowned research and the 1,300+ student organizations and clubs, and the connections to alumni all across the world, and even in the connections between the School of Kinesiology and the athletics department. With all of these opportunities dancing in front of me, I have in no way strayed away from taking advantage of everything I could manage and then some while being a student here. I have been privileged to study abroad in Oaxaca, Mexico, to intern at Koval Fitness, a local sports performance company, to conduct research on obesity and its relationship to academic performance in Chile, to serve as a movement science ambassador for the School of Kinesiology, to work as a Spanish tutor in the Comprehensive Studies program, and a secretary for the Central Student Government Office, and much more. As I reflect over all of these opportunities I have been able to take part in, however, I realize that none of these things could have happened without those who came before me. Just as my parents helped me get to college, there are so many others that have helped me stay here and remain in college. Amen. Sorry. These people have mentored me, supported me, encouraged, guided, taught, and corrected me. Their investments into my life are invaluable, and without them, my time in Michigan would not be the same. Although I do not have time to thank each and every person that has contributed to my success over these 4 years, I would be remiss if I did not take the time to thank just a few. I would like to thank our entire Office of Undergraduate Student Affairs office for their support and guidance. Being closely connected to that office taught me that there's always a way to make something happen if you just ask. They have helped me realize that there are so many people that are willing to help, but oftentimes that potential is never attained because they are never asked to help. I would also like to thank Penny and Rose Stamps. Being a stamp scholar has blessed me in so many ways. It is very likely that I would not be at this university if it were not for the generosity of Penny and Rose Stamps. I have promised them time and time again that I will one day do for someone else what they have done for me. I would also like to thank Fitz Tavernier. Fitz is a graduate from the University of Michigan School of Kinesiology and is now a third-year medical student at the University of Michigan's Medical School. He would probably find it a huge surprise that I would mention him before you all, but I can truly say that my motivation to give back and make a way for those behind me was inspired by his actions. Fitz worked as a tutor for the Science Learning Center during his undergraduate time, and I will never forget the night that he went off the clock and stayed up with me and at least 8 other struggling students until about 2 a.m. in a classroom in the chemistry building to answer any of our questions. Every hour that went by, I was more and more amazed that he was still there. So I not only thank him for helping me pass organic chemistry, but I also thank him for correcting my mindset of overcoming my obstacles so that I can get ahead, to overcoming my obstacles so that I can help others get ahead. I would also like to thank my family and friends back home. Oftentimes, being one of the leaders and best comes with the weight of feeling like you always need to be doing something to be enough. I thank them for always being a breath of fresh air when I would come home and reminding me that my accomplishments didn't make me the best daughter, granddaughter, sister, cousin, niece, or friend, but just being Kamaria was enough. Lastly, I must thank my friends that I've made so many wonderful memories with at Michigan. Without their shoulders to cry on, their late nights in the cousins' game room, their impromptu visits to my job to offer words of wisdom or a laugh to get through the day, their reminders to keep pushing, their powerful prayers over my life, and just their overall support and love, there is no way my time in Michigan would be the same. So thank you, friends, for being my rocks while I've been here and for putting up with me this long. With this reflection, it is my hope to inspire you all to do what I charge myself with daily. Be the person you needed when you were younger. We are and will continue to be the leaders and best, but with great privilege comes great responsibility. In 1890, George Jewett II, an Ann Arbor local, became the first Black athlete to play varsity football as a Wolverine. Michigan today called Jewett a natural on the field. Now, there are many things I could praise for Jewett's accomplishments to get him to such a level and break such a barrier. But there is another perspective that I would like to consider. Consider Mike Murphy, Frank Crawford, Frank Barber. All 3 of these men were coaches at some point in Jewett's time at Michigan. Amid a time when having a Black player on the team caused a lot of controversy and opposition, these coaches gave Jewett a chance. They used the privileges that they had as coaches to grant Jewett opportunities that he would never have been able to attain by his own power. I cannot help but to think that someone once gave these coaches a chance too, and that what they saw in Jewett is what someone once saw in them. With this history in mind, I challenge you to think about ways in which someone else has helped you grow into the person you are today, and do that for someone else. Think about the obstacles you faced and what things temporarily deterred you from your path. Think about what resources you wish that you had known about or that you wish existed. Think about your low points throughout your journey and what exactly you needed to pick you up at that time. Now, think about ways in which you can prevent those behind you from having those same feelings and act upon that. Let this be a part of whatever path you choose after leaving Michigan. If you're going to be a physician, consider mentoring pre-med students and showing them that their dream is possible. If you're going to be a sports agent or someone who influences public access and consumption of sport, publicly document your journey. Highlight what you do so that aspiring sport industry professionals behind you can have an idea of how they can do the same. Athletic trainers and health and fitness graduates, connect with the university to be someone that students can shadow, as this was something that you were once in need of. Whatever path that you take, remember that with great power comes great responsibility. With great privilege comes great responsibility. With the world's largest alumni society with a Michigan degree comes great responsibility. We're all building ourselves brick by brick, but we must also learn to lay foundations for others. You have the capacity to change the world with this type of mentality, and I have no doubt that we will do just that. A huge thank you to all of my family and friends that traveled here to support me, and an ever greater thank you to all of you for listening. And to the School of Kinesiology's graduating class of 2017, congratulations, and go blue. Thank you. And now I'd like to introduce Noel Cimino, President of the Kinesiology Alumni Society.
Thank you, Kamaria. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Noel Aaron Cimino, and I'm the chair of the Kinesiology Alumni Society Board of Governors. On behalf of the Alumni Society Board, congratulations on your graduation, and let me be the first to refer to you using the A word. Alumni. Alumni. Thank you. It's my distinct honor to welcome you as the newest members of the Kinesiology Alumni Society. All graduates of Kinesiology are automatically members of our Alumni Society, and we hope that you'll all continue to be strong, loyal, contributing alumni in the years to come, and stay connected to the School of Kinesiology through its Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram feeds, as well as its program-specific LinkedIn groups. Many of you have received the direct benefit of alumni networking and connections for jobs and internships. In fact, I've met some of you via social media networking events and emails. I'm sure you understand firsthand the value of these golden alumni networking opportunities. Career service support is also an essential component of the Alumni Board's mission, and there are endless other opportunities, so stay involved. I'd also urge you to take advantage of our post-graduation first-year membership to the university's main alumni association. Enroll online to receive all the benefits. You are now part of the largest living alumni family. And as part of officially welcoming you to the University of Michigan alumni family, the Kinesiology Alumni Society will be giving all of you a Block M pin to wear with pride and let everyone know it is in fact great to be a Michigan Wolverine. Come on. On behalf of the entire Kinesiology Alumni Society, congratulations to you, the class of 2017. Go Blue, and welcome to the Kinesiology and University of Michigan Alumni Societies. I would now like to invite Andrea Kelly, President of the Kinesiology Student Government, to the podium.
Thank you, Mr. Cimino. Good afternoon, and thank you all for being here to celebrate this momentous occasion in our lives. My name is Andrea Kelly, and I'm the president of the Kinesiology Student Government, an organization that strives to improve the kinesiology experience for the student body. First, I'm pleased to announce that this year's senior class gift supports the Kinesiology Student Government Scholarship. The scholarship is reserved for 2 students who have profoundly demonstrated the characteristics that the School of Kinesiology embeds in every student: respect, academic excellence, progressive thinking, and leadership. The 2017 recipients of the KSG Scholarship are rising seniors Tiffany Hackett and Maisie Lyons. Next, for those of you who have donated, on behalf of the entire School of Kinesiology, I want to thank you for your generosity in helping the class of 2017 set the foundation for our school's future. Now, it is my honor this evening to present the 2016-17 Excellence in Teaching Awards. This award is presented each year to 2 tenure track, clinical, lecture 3 or 4 level faculty, 2 lecture 1 or 2 level faculty, and 2 graduate student instructors, or GSIs. The recipients are voted on and chosen by students based on their superior classroom teaching and innovative instruction, their dedication to challenging their students to learn and explore educational and professional opportunities, and their concern for students in and outside the classroom. Here's what some of our students had to say about our first award winner. He's the best GSI I've ever had. You can tell he's excited about the subject, and he also wants his students to succeed. He is very engaging and makes the biomechanics lab a lot more fun than I thought it would be. I would like to invite graduate student instructor Josh Leonardis to the stage to accept his Excellence in Teaching Award. Congratulations, Mr. Leonardis. One more round of applause. Here's what some of our students had to say about our second award winner. She is devoted to her students and creates a very positive environment. Her commitment to teaching a large group of freshmen with such enthusiasm while taking on classes and research is inspiring. She was the best instructor I've had at the University of Michigan. She was able to connect with her students and help them learn. I would like to invite graduate student instructor Kara Palmer to the stage to accept her Excellence in Teaching Award. Keep it going, come on, come on. Congratulations, Ms. Palmer. Clap her off. Now, here's what some of our students had to say about our third award winner. She is articulate and engaging as a lecturer, my favorite instructor at U of M. She is one of the best teachers I've had. She loves her job and makes a 2-hour lab session enjoyable. She is amazing, so passionate, and cares so much about students' learning and understanding. Tough grader, but really makes you want to do and be your best. I would like to invite Dr. Adrienne Musick to the podium to accept her Excellence in Teaching Award. Congratulations, Dr. Musick. Fourth, here's some of what our students had to say for our award winner. She genuinely cares about her students. She's very thorough and gives thoughtful insight on homework and quizzes. Because of her passion for the subject, she makes every class interesting, and I learn something every time. I would like to invite Marissa Pollock to the stage to accept her Excellence in Teaching Award. Congratulations, Ms. Pollock. Here's what some of our students had to say about our fifth award winner. He is an awesome instructor who goes the extra mile to make sure his students succeed. He is interesting to listen to and obviously really cares about what he's teaching. He makes things very understandable as well. He is very knowledgeable about what he teaches, and his passion for exercise physiology is always seen in his lectures. He also cares a lot about his students and takes the time to learn all of their names and things about him. That's really special. I would like to invite Dr. Pete Bodery to the stage to accept his Excellence in Teaching Award. Congratulations, Dr. Bodery. And here's what some of our students had to say about our 6th and final award winner. She is an amazing teacher who really makes you want to engage with the material. She's been a mentor, a professor, and a friend to me since my freshman year, and I owe many of my accomplishments here to her guidance. She was the best professor I've had at U of M. She continues to impact my life and push me to be the best I can to help make the world a better place. She is the most dedicated and hardworking person I know. I would like to invite Dr. Rebecca Hassan to the stage to accept her Excellence in Teaching Award. Congratulations, Dr. Hassan. I would now like to welcome Dr. Gregory Carty to the podium, but before I conclude, I want to congratulate all of my friends and classmates, the graduating class of 2017. I wish you all the best of luck in your future endeavors, and forever go blue.
Thank you, Andrea. Research makes up an integral part of the academic experience in the School of Kinesiology, and we encourage our students to take advantage of the many opportunities available to them throughout their studies. For example, graduate and undergraduate students may complete a thesis while working closely with a faculty member on a specific research problem. Indeed, working with these students is one of the greatest pleasures of serving on the faculty of kinesiology. I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge those students who have completed a research thesis this year. As I call your name, would you please stand? I ask the audience to please hold your applause until all names have been announced. The graduate students completing a master's thesis are Tanu Barkov, and the title was Remote Assessment of Upper Limb Movements in Adults with Brachial Plexus Injury. Yilin Ni, Assessment of Basal and Induced Autophagy Flux in Isolated Rat Skeletal Muscle. And Luis Nolasco, Angular Momentum Assessment of Dynamic Balance During Turning in People with Transtibial Amputation. The undergraduate student completing a movement science honors thesis is Andrew Nagy, Effective Responses to Intermittent Physical Activity in Normal Weight and Overweight Obese Elementary School-Aged Children. Congratulations all. Now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, the graduates themselves. I'd like to ask Dean Ploutz-Snyder to take her position on the stage. So students, as Dr. Ploutz-Snyder is moving, please remember to pause for a photo next to the dean before returning to your seat. Kinesiology confers degrees in the following areas: Doctor of Philosophy, Master of Arts, Master of Science, Bachelor of Arts, and Bachelor of Science. We will begin with granting our doctoral degrees. The following descriptions I'll be reading represent a synopsis of the dissertation project that each of our doctoral students has completed under the supervision of a graduate faculty mentor. Dr. Keetra Armstrong, Associate Dean for Graduate Affairs, will assist in the hooding of our graduates along with their faculty advisors. So now we'll go through each of the doctoral students. Jeffrey Cowley, and Dr. Deanna Gates, please join Dr. Armstrong. Jeffrey Cowley's dissertation is titled Motor Adaptation to Muscle Fatigue, Moderating Factors and Implications. His research focuses on identifying the biomechanical and personal factors that predict how people will respond to muscle fatigue during repeated movements. Jeff has published 5 peer-reviewed articles and received several high honors as a doctoral student, including a Rackham one-term dissertation fellowship. Jeff is currently interviewing for a tenure-track position in kinesiology, which he hopes to begin in the fall. Congratulations, Dr. Cowley. Gu Kang and Dr. Melissa Gross, please join Dr. Armstrong. Gu Kang's dissertation is titled Effects of Emotion and Mood Phase on Biomechanical Characteristics of Body Movement in Healthy Individuals and Individuals with Bipolar Disorder. His research applies biomechanical methods in the study of psychiatric conditions to help develop clinical biomarkers. Gu has received several honors as a doctoral student, including the School of Kinesiology's Teaching Excellence Award and a Rackham Graduate School Centennial Fellowship. His work has been supported by grants from Michigan Blue Cross Blue Shield and the American Society of Biomechanics. After graduation, Gu will continue working in the Behavioral Biomechanics Laboratory as a postdoctoral scholar. Congratulations, Dr. Kang. Justin Kang and Dr. Peter Bodery, please join Dr. Armstrong. Justin Kang's dissertation is titled Profound Endothelial Dysfunction and Inflammation in Fabry Disease, Responses to Exercise Training. His research focuses on the important molecular mechanisms underlying cardiovascular disease complications and the impact of exercise in the setting of profound vascular dysfunction. Justin has been the recipient of several honors, including School of Kinesiology's Lucille M. Swift Honor Award and Traffel Awards to present his research in national conferences. After graduation, Justin will begin a postdoctoral fellowship at the University of Texas Southwestern Medical Center in Dallas, where he will continue to pursue his research related to molecular and vascular biology to identify new strategies for cardiovascular disease complications. Congratulations, Dr. Kang. Sean Pradhan and Dr. Dae-hee Kwok, please join Dr. Armstrong. Sean Pradhan's dissertation is titled How You Like Me Now? The Influence of Athlete Behavior on Fan Group Dynamics and Sports Consumption. His research focuses on the social psychology of fan behavior in various sport-related consumption contexts. Sean's high-quality scholarship and professional zeal have been well recognized by receiving several honors as a doctoral student. He received the School of Kinesiology's Paul Hunsaker Memorial Award and received the Rackham Regents Fellowship, one of Rackham's graduate school's highest distinctions. In addition, it was recently announced that Sean is this year's recipient of the very prestigious American Kinesiology Association Doctoral Scholar Award. In 2016, he also won the Doctoral Student Research Grant awarded by the North American Society for Sport Management. After graduation, Sean will begin a lecturer position in the psychology department at San Jose State University, his alma mater, and will continue to pursue his research related to fan behavior and group dynamics. Congratulations, Dr. Pradhan. Lorraine Suzuki and Dr. Sean Meehan, please join Dr. Armstrong. Lorraine Suzuki's dissertation is titled The Influence of Declarative Memory Upon Human Motor Cortex Physiology. Her research focuses on the mechanisms by which our conscious strategies shape the signals that the brain sends to the muscles and how the brain reorganizes during learning of new motor skills. Lorraine's research is an important step towards the development of more effective rehabilitation interventions for movement disorders, like stroke, where conscious strategies may limit the rate and extent of recovery. During her doctoral degree, Lorraine was a recipient of the School of Kinesiology's Ruth Harris Doctoral Fellowship. She has been involved in the publication of 2 papers, another under review, as well as 3 first author manuscripts currently in preparation. Lorraine is currently pursuing postdoctoral positions both domestically as well in her native France to build upon her technical expertise in the non-invasive study of the brain. Congratulations, Dr. Suzuki. Douglas Van Pelt, will you please join Dr. Armstrong? Unfortunately, Doug's faculty advisor, Dr. Jeff Horowitz, could not be here tonight, so I will assist with the hooding, and Dr. Pete Bodery will read the text of his synopsis.
Douglas Van Pelt's dissertation is titled The Effects of Subcutaneous Adipose Tissue on Metabolic Health and Obesity. His dissertation research focused on how alterations in adipose tissue impact metabolic health in obesity and how exercise may modify the structure and function of adipose tissue in ways that may improve health. Doug has received several high honors as a doctoral student, including a Student Scholar Award from the Federation of Experimental Biology, the School of Kinesiology Stan Kemp Award, and research grants from Rackham Graduate School. After graduation, Doug will begin a postdoctoral training position where he plans to pursue research related to exercise and muscle regeneration. Congratulations, Dr. Van Pelt. I'll now turn the podium back over to Dr. Carty.
Guy Wilkinson, will you please join Dr. Armstrong? Unfortunately, Guy's faculty advisor, Dr. Stefan Szymanski, could not be here tonight, so Dr. Rodney Fort will assist with the hooding. Guy Wilkinson's dissertation is titled Player Productivity and Performance, an Econometric Approach to Team Management in Soccer. His research focuses on statistical methods for estimating the productivity of professional soccer players. Guy has been an exemplary doctoral student and has pioneered big data analysis in sports at Michigan. In 2016, he won the Graduate Student Instructor Teaching Award. After graduation, Guy will take up a postdoctoral fellowship in INSEAD, currently ranked by the Financial Times as the world's best business school. He will continue his research on player productivity using programming skills to model video data. Congratulations, Dr. Wilkinson. Please join me in once again congratulating our newly minted doctoral graduates. I will now turn the podium over to Dr. Armstrong, who will recognize the 2017 master's degree graduates.
So I would like to present to you the Masters of Arts and Masters of Science graduates. Madeline Alicia Gladue. Brendan Daly Kennedy. Moni Wei. Brian Robert Johnson. Scott Westfall. Rachel Spence. Mercedes Peach Martinez. Stephen Galehood. Joanna Chang. Vahari K. McLean. Luis Nalesco. Jared Colberg. Alex Vita. Joanna Arnold. At this time, I would like to invite to the podium Ryan Palmieri-Smith, Associate Professor in Athletic Training.
I would like to introduce the Bachelor of Science Athletic Training graduates. Jalen Nicole Beaudry. Emily Renee Aaron. Nick Maramonti. Bailey Lewis. Kathleen Elizabeth Madden. Adam Michael Olszewski. Olivia Steele. Jessica Claire Tom. Kirsten Lynn Larson. Casey Keene. Emily Beattie. Caitlin Regan. I am now going to turn the podium over to Dr. Tom George, Health and Fitness Program Chair.
It is my pleasure to introduce the Bachelor of Science, Health and Fitness graduates. Joanna Lee. Ann Lowell. Zachary Jagan. Stephen Bergman. Brooke Ann Bremer. Gregory Yaros. Lindsay Richmond. Joseph Flippiak. Joanne Tien Jiang. Sophia Bauer Wasteboard. I would now like to invite Dr. Susan Brown, Associate Professor of Movement Science, to the podium.
I would like to introduce the Bachelor of Science, Movement Science graduates. Kara Anderson. Candace Breck. Kristen Blair Roberts. Oh, Kristen! Paris Carnell. Camaria Washington. Tochukwu Ndokwe. Claudia Redeveld. Kylie Tate Schlesinger. Suzanne Jo Topol. Toby Heller. Alec Reed Furstenberg.
Way to go, Alec.
Rogelio Padron. Karen Alvarez. Lindsay Marlene Harkins. Darby Olson Middlebrook. Zachary Michael Oosley. Benjamin Flanagan. Courtney Schill. Megan Fogel. Sarah Beach. Allison Knight Silver. Matthew DeHaven. Bianca Alexis Wilson. Samantha Sonderman. Monica Rand Babcock. Aaron Chang. Ryan Zantz. David Desmond. Harry Jawanda. Jaden Sweeney. Anna Marino. Jennifer Kaufman. Erin Marie Lenahan. John Thomas Orban. Sam Kim. Joshua Magno. Connor Jeffrey Williams. Casey Thomas Allen. Haley Marie Barker. Brooke Setafanti. Emily Louise Federici. Erica Renee Matero. Morgan Page Shepard. Taylor Jane Kelly. Eric Sebastian Clutter. Catherine Bauer. Maggie Armstrong. Julia Rose Davis. Margot Nermi Geisinger. Caitlin Scrivano. Kendall Geis. Jacob Lynn. Min Xian Tian. Austin Collison. Rachel Marie Kasmersky. John Holmes. Colleen Aaron Conroy. Nathaniel Miller. Christian Michael Dolacek. Nicholas Andrew Dolacek. Brendan Walter Cate. Laura. Zachary Conley. Victoria Marie Klein. Levy Francis Maza. Omar Ishmael Hassan. Victoria Norris. Julia Meredith Harris. Carolyn Courtney Stoddard. Zachary James Bataler. Jordan Mark Wilson. Brett Burnbaum. Catherine Chin. Jenna Grace Mangle. Venetia Rupin Amin. Charles Keene. Raymond Bernard Fowler. Jennifer Woolen. James Henry Shipman. Rachel Tomasi. Stephanie Galzig. Samuel Hertz. Matthew Nagy. Amanat Gill. Molly Patricia O'Sullivan. Rachel Sullivan. Caitlin Marie Paige Nicole Koshar. Madeline Marie Smith. Ryan Alexander Saraki. Grace Carey. Billy Desiree Luciani. Carolyn Leung. Kelly Harry Chu. Rebecca Larson. Courtney Patricia Holmes. Jamie Michaela Ogner. Alice Burns. Evan Forsman. Jifeng Kwan. Sarah Beth Rudo. Camille G. Jonah. Brenna Turner. Andrea Lynn Kelly. I am now going to turn the podium over to Professor Josh Margos, IONM Program Director.
It's my pleasure to introduce to you the Bachelor of Science and Movement Science graduates with a concentration in intraoperative neuromonitoring. Stephanie Penina Curran. Amanda Ann Leftwich. Marielle Leigh Renahan. Benjamin Lewis Quisel. Caitlin Worthy. Kylie Ann Burnham. Lima Augustitis. Morgan Hoskins. Samuel Edward Morley. I'm now going to turn the podium over to Ms. Kelly Donahue and Dr. Mark Rosentraub, Sport Management Program Chairs.
We would like to introduce the Bachelor of Arts Sport Management graduates. Samuel Allen Katz. Jamie Westerman. Andrew Myers. Michael Philip Adishek. Kenneth Lee Taras. Samuel Cohen Sarakian. Zachary Antel. Zachary Michael Cohen. Matthew Jacob Benedict. Benjamin Isaac Belzer. Marin Emily McInerney. Zach Gantz. Matthew William Singelin. Samuel Herbert. Elaine Zarnick. Kyle Essenberg. Courtney Irene Stuck. Alexandra Nicole Brenza. Karina Elaine Collier. Emily Cullen. Lauren Prospect.
Robert Abraham Flom. Talia Chiarelli.
Madison Lewis. Anna Mordell. Lindsay Paige Walter. Randy Michelle Good. Rachel Elise Ria. Rachel Collier. Dana Marie Smith. Brianna Paige Kelly. Lamontra Vance Jackson. Emily Jewel Aaron Heiden. Mitchell Tuttle. Jacob Cole Shriman. Ben Duncan. Adam Hesner. Andrew Edward Rosen. Maxwell Forrest Bent.
Thomas Henry. Aaron Max Webner. Blake Tyler Resnikoff. Ryan Evan Silverstein. Jacob Warrow. Louis Beatrice. Noah Bergman. Alexander David Golick. Alex Henderson. Nicholas Peter Carey. Brandon Handelsman. Robert Lowe.
Daniel Schwartz. Andrew Ulrich. Justine Miller. Shane Morris.
Daniel Paul Kubert. Benjamin Joseph Holbrook. Sophie Alexandra Lynn. Abigail Brooke Cole. Charles McPeters. Sumera Metz. Derek Charles Heitman. Jordan Gertzman. Samuel Lowenthal. Trevor Rutledge. Michael Moore.
Thomas Ruska. Robert Stewart Moyer. Jake Tyler Moyer. Reese Anthony Bisnaugh. Seth Gutman. Nathaniel Lee Pruitt. Zachary John Nagelbort. Nolan DeYoung. Quentin Buckley.
Robert Carey Neff III. Keith J. Abdanor. Benjamin Fiddleman. John Michael Kupko. Thomas George Marcus. Sierra Rayleigh Bain. Jonathan Chin. Matthew Fonsi. Matt Caston. Lauren Elizabeth McCree. Leon Larry Johnson.
Graduates of the class of 2017.
Okay, we are almost done. This is the fun part. Graduates, please stand. When you put on your cap and gown this evening, your tassel should have been placed on the right side. If it's not, put it there now. Signifying that you had not yet graduated. On behalf of the Board of Regents of the University of Michigan and the faculty and the staff of the School of Kinesiology, I congratulate you on your graduation this evening. Please move your tassels now from the right to the left. Well done. And one last time, I'll turn the podium over to Dr. Tom Templin.
Wow. I've been going to commencements for 40 years. I have never seen that. That was amazing. It is so fun to watch from the platform as the students walk across the stage because we get to see a real fashion show, right? Guys, you're pretty boring. Ladies, amazing. It's either function or fashion. I think fashion won out. But I'd have to give the award to the Western boots. Where are you, Western boots? Yeah? Awesome. First time I've seen cowboy boots, cowgirl boots, Western boots at a commencement. That was awesome. I think Adam, Zach, and Amanda won Family Best Shout Out. Congratulations. And the caps are amazing. I'd have to give it to the flower girl. Congratulations. Yeah. Just amazing designs, and certainly to see the Block M displayed in so many different ways really does us proud. So congratulations, graduates. As a fellow Michigan grad, I can proudly say that Ann Arbor will always be your home away from home. and you will forever be cherished as a member of the School of Kinesiology and the greatest university in the land, the University of Michigan. May you always uphold the excellent tradition that defines Michigan graduates. And once again, on behalf of the faculty and staff, thank you for enriching our lives. Good luck and congratulations to you, the class of 2017. In just a moment, we will conclude the ceremony by singing the Yellow and Blue, and the victors, of course, but first I need to provide you with some final instructions. After we sing, we ask that you all remain seated as the platform party recesses. The marshals will then dismiss the graduates row by row. Family and guests should remain in their seats as the graduates depart for the reception on the second floor of the Michigan League. The reception will be in the ballroom, as well as the concourse and Vandenberg rooms. See page 3 of your program for specific locations. Now please stand and join Camille once again, who will lead us in singing the Yellow and Blue, followed by the victors.
Yeah.
Thank you, Camille. Fantastic. That's it, gang. Congratulations, and we'll see you at the Michigan League. Thank you. Congratulations.